I made this short, and oh my god, did it bring in the comments.
What did he say?
Apparently, I have no idea what I'm doing. People were asking, why using a full frame lens on an APS-C camera? Why not the Sigma 18-50? You're wasting your money. And this one really hit hard. He's not a photographer, he's an influencer. Oh, and the classic bow cut. Thanks, Resolve. Maybe I should really check my work before publishing them onto social media. It was worth it. Now, because of that short, I actually posted that on Threads too, and the comments seem to be a bit more mature. Nah, yo, hold my poodle. Where, oh, full frames is a good idea on APS-C lens. Of course, both platforms had their fair share of keyboard warriors, the Mr. Know-it-alls that never missed the comment section.
I'm gonna write a letter. You are in big trouble.
So in this video, we're going to talk about what happens when you use a full frame lens on an APS-C body. The pros, the cons, and whether it's a mistake. If you're new here, hi, my name is Demetrius, and I create videos on drones, photography, and everything in between. If you want to join a community of like-minded people, subscribe to stay up to date. Right, take my phone out so I can talk about the first thing here, which is field of view crop factor. So if you buy an APS-C lens on an APS-C body, you're good to go. But if you buy a full frame lens on an APS-C body, there's a crop factor of around 1.5, I believe 1.6 for Canon. Double check for me in the comments if you know that for sure. But I don't understand the surprise here. Like, before you buy anything, you're not doing your research, or you're not getting recommendations from friends. I full well knew that when I bought my Sigma 24-70, there was a crop factor. And I took that into consideration, and I knew that I wasn't going to get the widest field of view. For when it's something wider, use one of my wide lenses, Sigma 16, Sigma 10-18, which is what I've got on now. Weight and size. Of course, full frame lenses are heavier. I knew that. However, if you're looking for something compact and lightweight, then get an APS-C lens. Full frame lenses are also known for delivering that beautiful, shallow depth of field. And on APS-C, you need to adjust the focal length and aperture to get a similar effect, which may not always be practical, especially if you're limited in space or gear. However, that being said, if you get a prime APS-C lens that opens up to all the way 1.4, it's going to be better than something that's only f2.8, even if it's full frame. And that's just from my experience. I think this is probably the main one that people whinged about on my short, was that you're wasting your money because you bought a full frame lens and you put it on an APS-C camera. You could have got the Sigma 18-50. I mean, I didn't waste my money, and I'll tell you about that towards the end of the video. But if you're planning to upgrade in the future, maybe it's worthwhile to get a full frame lens. Like, some of us don't have the budget to go all out and buy a full frame lens from the beginning. So I bought an APS-C camera, but down the line, as you upgrade, maybe you're thinking, maybe I might buy full frame in the future. And so you will get a full frame lens. So when you buy that full frame body, at least you have a lens to use it. Otherwise, you're stuck with a bunch of APS-C lenses. And if you're not planning to upgrade to full frame, then sure, just stick to APS-C, which are smaller, lighter, and more affordable. However, most full frame lenses like the Sigma 24-70 or the Sony 24-70 work fine on APS-C. I've been using this 90% of the time. And if you haven't seen that video, check it out up here. This is the lens that I use to shoot most of the B-roll in my videos. If you're a subscriber of this channel and you've seen my videos, and you would have seen the B-roll that I've shot of the DJI Air 3 or Air 3S or whatever it is I'm shooting, it's normally with this lens on this camera. So image quality. I watched a few videos first. I watched Jason Vong's, and then I watched another one, which I'll link in the description box down below. If you use a full frame lens on APS-C body, it is using that inner part of the glass, which tends to be sharper and there's less imperfections. That being said, the video that I watched debunked this and showed that. But again, that video was a year or so old. I think people are still going to debate this regardless of this video or any others that you watch. People are still going to have their own opinion. That's fair enough. I will probably lean the side that full frame lenses are going to be better because they are more expensive and they're going to use better quality glass. At the end of the day, who pixel peeps? Like, how many times do you go on Instagram and then pinch and zoom in to have a look and then complain about like, oh no, that was taken on a full frame lens on APS-C camera. No, Or who goes to an art gallery, or if you have a photo you've taken that you printed and put up on a wall and goes right up to it and then looks at it really closely just to make sure there's no imperfections, when technically you want to step back and enjoy the actual photo from a distance, because that's how it's supposed to be seen, not right up close. Ooh, let's do low light after this shot. So, low light performance. Now, typically full frame lenses have wider front elements than APS-C lenses, which makes sense. So to me, because it's wider at the front, it's gonna let more light in to the sensor, making them better in low light. That being said, if I use my prime APS-C lens, which is like 1.4, that's gonna be way better in low light to my f2.8 Sigma 24-70. That's a given. At the end of the day, it comes down to the tools that you use. Do you have the right lens? Do you have the right settings to be able to get good quality image from your camera, regardless whether it's full frame or APS-C? I have used my Sigma 24-70 at night for both photo and video, and it's been fine. Lens options and compatibility. Technically, if you buy full frame lenses and APS-C lenses to go along with your crop sensor camera, you have more options available than someone who has, say, a full frame camera. You can use APS-C lenses on full frame, but technically you have to use the crop menu thing to crop in to use the inner portion of that sensor. So I think this is where the benefit is for APS-C cameras, because we get to use both lenses without any real setbacks other than the weight and probably the expense. But I think those are minor, if you ask me. Sony's top G Master lenses don't really have APS-C versions, whereas Sigma, they have versions for both full frame and APS-C. You have a lot more variety. Come on. Now, if you're planning to upgrade to full frame someday, you're ahead already. And you won't need to rebuy lenses, and you'll likely get better resale value too, if you ever decide to sell. And full frame glass holds its value better, and it fits across more camera bodies on the long term. That being said, that doesn't mean someone's not looking for APS-C lenses. Let's say maybe you don't want to continue with photography anymore and you need to sell your gear. APS-C lenses are a good option for beginners to get started. That's how I got started, because I didn't have the budget for a full frame camera. Now this leads on perfectly as to why I bought the Sigma 24-70. So let me level with you. When I was living in Canada, my friend Isaac recommended it to me. And then when we went to a Sigma event, I tried out this 24-70, and you know what? I didn't enjoy it at first. I really didn't. But after borrowing the lens for a second time, I actually really got to enjoy it. And knowing that one day I would eventually upgrade to full frame, it made a lot of sense. So I made a decision to buy. And I was fully aware of the size, the weight, and the cost for that lens. And it was still cheaper than Sony's GM lens, the 24-70. And if you're worried about cost, you can always use things like buy now, pay later. Make sure it's interest free. That way you can break up the payments without having to pay more. And honestly, if you're doing content or client work, you probably make that money back before you've even paid that lens off. So it can be a smart investment if you play it right. At the end of the day, there's no one size fits all. If you're looking for something lightweight and compact, and you're not planning to upgrade to full frame, then stick to APS-C. They're more practical for everyday use. However, if you want to experiment a little bit more and want more options for lenses, and you're thinking about going full frame in the future, then get a full frame lens. At the end of the day, you just got to do your research and try things out. Maybe going to creator events or getting rentals. As long as they meet your goals, that's all that matters. If you enjoyed this video and want to check out a great telephoto lens, click here. Or if you want to find out why I fell in love with the Sigma 56, then click here. I'll see you in the next video.